Shout out to J&J.
So I just want to send a shout out to J&J Sports for having me once again.
Episodes, man. You guys got a real good thing going on.
I'm pretty sure they're concerned, definitely, especially because she's the main big man for their team and probably what she's playing now. But yeah, definitely rebounding. She's a great rebounder. One thing I've noticed, she can rebound. She's tough inside the paint. I don't see her shooting much threes, but definitely, yeah, definitely still top quality. James.
Yeah, what I'm wondering about is because she's such an important superstar, maybe this will be the moment where things change for the WNBA and maybe they'll finally be compensated so they can protect their superstars from something like this.
No, I'm with you, and but it still comes down to business because from what I hear, and I've obviously none of us have looked at the financial books, but I hear that they're still operating at a loss, and the NBA is what's keeping that league afloat. So you can only pay them so much. My thought is if that's all you could pay these players, whatever it is, then you just have to be open to knowing that they're going to be playing overseas in the off season. They're going to be playing in this 3-on-3 league, the Unrivaled 3-on-3 league, and just you just have to accept it. But hoopers, I mean, I stopped playing when I got to college, but those basketball guys and gals, they're gym rats. I mean, even when the season's not going, they just play ball year round. So to me, this is just part of the business.
Definitely. I definitely agree. If we look at her stat sheet that she before going here into her regular team season, she had 13 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, averaging. So she was definitely one of their top players, definitely in and out the games. Uh between her and Caitlin Clark, who do you feel about that situation with the hand? I don't know if you remember that. We covered it. What were your opinions on that when she did the hand with Caitlin Clark?
I feel like people were getting offended for no reason. That's just part of athletics. The rivalry. I thought that year was huge for women's basketball, college women's basketball. Matter of fact, that year, excuse me, that year I watched more women's basketball in the tournament than men's, and now because of that, I'm a very very casual, but I'm casual WNBA fan because I'm trying to see what they're doing. So my point is, those two women, along with some others, I just don't know them by name. There's a Latin woman from South Carolina. She's in the WNBA by now, but seeing their success in college, I find myself watching their games now. So that helped grow the sport. And whether you like it or not, Caitlin Clark, what she did at Iowa State, I mean, she brought millions of eyes to
Yeah.
basketball. I know a lot of WNBA women were hating on her. Shame on them. All they should be praising her and say, "Hey, thank you for whatever reason." I know some people. I don't know why they would be upset, but some people feel like she's getting too much credit. But I know as a guy like myself, she's the reason why I really watched WNBA now. So shout out to Clark.
She reminds me of like the female Steph Curry. That's
That,
kind of what I get. That's kind of what I get from her. James, how you?
Yeah, I would like to see, 10 years from now, kind of looking back at both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese's careers and kind of compare them because
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious to see, which one is gonna end up with a championship, which one is gonna,
Right.
get the most like appearances and all of that.
Right. Right.
So
Right. Definitely. Uh, Now I did mention that while hurting her hand and wrist during a play, she was managed to score and finish that play before having to sit out. Does this show the toughness at Andrew Reese as a player, you think?
oh, 100%. I mean, I've always been impressed with women's sports, and there's something maybe because they're always the underdog. Uh, but I just feel like they're so tough. I'm not gonna sit up here and say they're tougher than men,
Right.
but me to be tougher than men a lot of times, even on the high school level. I just remember watching our high school girls basketball team, and they take some nasty falls, and you think, oh man, they're gonna be out for the game, and they
Right.
just. But I feel like there a lot of the women athletes are playing and trying to disprove the stereotype that they're not tough, so they go a little bit harder than the guys. But no, 100%.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, they're definitely tough for sure. James, how you feel about it?
Yeah, I with the WNBA, I think that we need to see another team return to Houston
Mhm.
for sure. Because I remembered, a few years back, I was like, well, it'd be fun to actually attend a WNBA game. And so I looked it up, and I think it was like, I don't know, either a few months or just a year before they had dismantled the Houston Comets. And that to me was a disappointment for sure.
Especially with all the success they had. I mean, how do you dismantle a team? Don't quote me on this, but if I'm not mistaken, they had like 4 WNBA championships, and that's not the type of team you dismantle. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cleveland Browns. Those are the type of
Right,
teams that,
right.
that
Definitely, man. I definitely agree with you with that because yeah, they just, they targeting the wrong team for sure.
yes.
But we'll keep you guys updated on Angel Reese and her injury. Hopefully she can fully recover before the regular season starts for them again. But I'm passing over to James, man. What else we got?
Well, I was kind of curious because I think you're our first pro athlete guest ever on J&J
Yeah,
Sports, and for it to be 2 years and 100 episodes, I mean, this is fantastic.
yeah.
No, congrats to y'all, and I'm honored to be, the 100th guest or on the 100th show. But like you said, Jeremiah, early on, y'all just stay consistent. I like the look, what y'all got going on, and you never know when that break is gonna come. You with me doing 12 years of radio, I've seen a lot of guys come and go, and they were very good, but because they didn't consistently stay with it, they never blew up the way I felt like they should have. Because if you look at it, and I tell people this, they think I'm crazy. It's tougher to get into sports talk than it is to get into professional sports. As a
Yeah,
football player, there's 32 teams out there. But if you're trying to get on air in your local town, and Houston has more sports talk shows than most major cities, and they only have 3 stations, maybe 3 signature shows per station. So you're only talking about 9 slots. So you really have to keep it up, do what y'all are doing, and make sure, the right person sees you.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah, we're definitely going to clip that Stephen A story. That was fascinating. And I'm kind of curious about which city were you in before you went to Philadelphia and what that transition was like?
So I was playing here at Rice University. Then I was drafted to Philadelphia. Then I spent my first year in Philadelphia, made the team as a fifth round pick. Then my second year, I got released. So I went to Washington, spent 3 years there, and then I was a free agent. And Philly said, "Oh, we made a mistake," and they signed me to a 5 year deal. So I went back to Philadelphia for 5 years to get a total of six, and then came to Houston for the last 3 years of my career. So to answer your question, I know that was a long answer. It's because I went from college to Philly. My first year, I broke my thumb, played a little bit as a rookie. Then I got cut. Then I went to Washington, proved myself, played for 3 years. Then I was a free agent. Went to Detroit for a visit, Atlanta. But Philadelphia made me the best offer, so I went back to Philly. So it was a culture shock because I grew up in San Antonio. Then when I was 17, I moved to Houston. So all I know is Texas.
Right.
Then Philadelphia, it was like, wow, like, growing up, all I knew, black, white, Mexican. Like, that's all I thought that's the only 3 races that existed. Then I get to Philadelphia and I'm like, oh, wow, Puerto Ricans. And I'm seeing just this culture melting pot, which is pretty cool. They have these Italian neighborhoods and, these Philly's cheesesteak sandwiches. The first time being in snow, on a consistent level. So it was cool. But for me, there's nothing like the South. I'm a true Southerner.
Definitely.
We're at about a minute, so
Okay,
we
yeah.
close that.
We about to run out of time pretty soon, but nah, Mr. Kalu, we definitely appreciate you, man. First NFL legend on our show, man, on the 100 episode celebration. Is there anything you'd like to shout out?
Just y'all, man, keep it going. J&J, I love it. People, they like this content. I love the fact that you're not afraid to open the show with a prayer because if we don't have that, we don't have anything. So,
Yeah.
man, keep it up. And yeah, I look forward to following your success and telling a story similar to my Stephen A. Smith story where, I talked to Jeremiah and James on their 100th show, and now I can't get them on the phone. Now they won't return my call because they big time. So
Right.
I'm for a story like that in the near future.
Definitely, man.
We'll
Definitely,
call you back for sure.
definitely appreciate you. But As always, I'm Jamar McKeel.
I'm James Jerwitz.
And you just got served with J&J Sports 100 episode with my guy, Mr. Kalu, man. Thank you once again, man.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Y'all keep it up.
J&J Sports.
Coming to y'all live in 2025.